year 2022 from Triple E branch, and currently I'm working as an analyst, quantitative research and trading for Alpha Group Securities. So like it seems like I graduated last year, but it has been a long way here from where I started. So like most of you in my third year, I interned with American Express. So it's like a very generic role of software engineer, SD role. And I was like going through the internship, and during the internship, I felt okay, this is something very irregular. I don't want to do this all my life. So I was about to join some MBA role post like completion of my BTech. Uh, then I think I'll show how things happen. So the most important part is uh, when I completed college, I was like, okay, I was about to complete college, and then I was like, okay, I don't want to just go for MBA. I'll just see what other things are. So in here, let's start with what's a quant role exactly, like what do I do the whole day. So basically, a quant role is maths, coding plus coffee, and the most important part is everything is at 100 miles an hour. So I'll tell you what it is. For any SD role, you do coding. It's very irregular. You have timelines. You do your work. You deliver them at the end of the month, or let's say end of the quarter, and you're evaluated quarterly, and then you get your raises, promotions, bonuses, everything. A quant role is basically software engineering role, but in finance field. So, have any of you seen The Big Shot? There is a movie called The Big Shot. Have any of you seen that movie? If no, it's fine.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah. Uh, have you seen The Wolf of Wall Street? I think most of you might have seen.
Yes.
Uh, yeah. So you see all those nerdy guys behind computers. So they are traders. Now, back in the older days, it was basically a guy telling on phone someone that okay, you should buy this and then you should sell this. You'll make a lot of money on this. Just trust me. But it was his intuitive skills or his falselyhood to make a living out of it. Now, with modern times, everything has changed. People believe maths and computer science can do way more than a human intuition can ever. So, a quant is basically a guy who tries to predict market movements and earn money out of it. How is that better than a human doing it? So it's basically human minus emotion. So when you make money, you'll see when you do trading, sometimes you'll see that everything works based on emotions for humans. So we feel good about something, we try to buy it. But there is always a logic behind things. When you code it up, it just removes your emotion part and it becomes bland. And that makes more sense than whatever a human tries to do. Because a human might just see that he is losing money and he might just stop trading. He might just sell and accumulate his losses. But that's not what the logic was, right? Logic was to make money. Logic was he saw something in the market that could help him make money. So quant is basically a person who is trying to replace the traders in the society. By replacing, I mean he does the math, he codes up things, and he drinks a lot of coffee every time because he has to do 100 things at a time. Uh, so let's see how my day starts. So most of you have learned Python, I guess, or know Python because of the data science hype going around in the market. Uh, so my day starts around at 5 a.m. because I trade in Korea. So I have strategies running. Strategy is basically a mathematical logic which helps, which works on its very own, like it trades on its own. But the idea of a quant is to basically keep on developing these strategies day in, day out, look at how they perform, code up new strategies, code up better ways to trade. So it's basically software development role, but on steroids. That is, it has maths in it, and you have to do a lot of things simultaneously. So in my field, you have deadlines weekly, and my weekly projects are like as deep as any Amazon monthly projects go. So that's what a quant is. Basically, it's a guy who does software development in finance field, but uh, he does a lot more in maths than in development. If you know what I mean. So you'll do a lot of data analysis. You'll do a lot of optimization techniques. You'll do a lot of statistics. you guys will learn about Monte Carlo simulation and then try to solve a problem or structure a problem on Monte Carlo simulation. So this is what a quant is. Basically, a guy who does math more than software development, and everything is at like a really fast pace. So you'll get to learn a more. See, software development on its own is very bland. It's boring. You'll do if you get into a team which does web dev, you'll do web dev for like 6 years and then you'll be bored out of it. If you get into a team which does cloud deployments, you'll do cloud deployments all your life and you'll be bored. But if you are in finance or quant, you can do way more interesting things than any other software development field. I feel I have done internship, I've done freelancing, I've done work for software development teams, and it's like pretty repetitive, very boring. But in quant role, it's very new because every time you discover something new, it excites you. There is an adrenaline rush in your brain. You get, oh fuck, I found something, I can use it, because it's basically the most in hand feeling with money. So basically, whatever you do, you you're gonna see it first and how it impacts your like bank balance. Let's say there's nothing you can do in software development work which will uh, make you feel okay. You made money or you lost money by the end of the day every day for 365 days a year, and it's way more interesting because I guess all of us started as math nerds when we started like engineering, and that math nerd will always get excited about maths more than writing a code for sending and receiving data packets over TCP lines. So I believe this is way more interesting than any of that. Now I'll tell you how I discovered things. So good and bad things started in March 2020. We had COVID. Rest in peace to all the people who died. But I had a lot of free time in my hand because everything went online. So we had classes online, exams online, everything was online. So I was like, okay, fine, I'll learn something new which might help. So uh, I started learning about I started learning Python back then. So I didn't know Python till March 2020. I was using C++ exclusively and some like JS and other scripting languages, but I never had been hands-on with Python. So I thought, okay, I'll learn Python. So I started learning Python. Then I went through a blog space which mentioned why Python is better than most other languages. And the main point was data science. And there was a lot of hype around data science during that time. And then I remember very thoroughly that market crashed in 2020 March. So I knew people who had lost a lot of money in stock market. So I'm like, okay, there is something like in here that people can lose money on. So I'm like, okay, I'll just dig deeper into this. Then I learned about things like people made a lot of money while people kept on losing. Others lost. Some people make a huge amount of money in like few days. So I like, okay, I'll learn about this. So in March 2020, when everything became silent, uh, I got a lot of more time in my hand, and it basically helped me who started in college. Like the first year you and fourth year you should be very different. That will always help in life to keep on changing, to keep on evolving. So I started learning about finance and Python at the same time, and it was very random to of me starting finance because I was never into finance. I had taken a finance course in second year, I guess, but it was only for grades, nothing as a to be serious about. So I started learning about finance, and I joined a few finance Discord servers. We started sharing material and all. Then someone told me when I started learning about Python thoroughly, you'll get to know about a field called data science machine learning. I guess all of you might have courses. I guess we have a branch which is AI in NITK now. So it's basically I got introduced to data science. And around that time, I had a course in optimization techniques in my EEE branch. So I was trying to solve an assignment in optimization techniques, and then I found a Python module to solve it. And I did. Then I discovered that okay, there is a website. I found the answer on Kaggler. Someone had posted in the thread somewhere that okay, this is how you solve. It was very random to like find an answer to some question on Kaggler because who like searches for something like that on a coding website. I thought initially Kaggler was a coding website, just like any website we use, like lead code versus code chef and everything. So by that time, I had good enough coding experience. I was like I had good enough strategy on code chef, code forces. I was using Python. I used C++ for competitions, but I had hands-on experience in Python. I came across Kaggler, and the first thing which excited me seeing on the website was the competitions. So from March 2022, I started. By May, before my internship started, I had good enough hands-on experience in Python. In my internship, I worked with Python. So that helped too. Then during my internship, I worked at Amex. They had a lot of documentation internally for finance things, how cards work, how credit card works. Like you can read a lot about things which we are not taught in college. Or we might be having those courses, but none of us take those courses because they're finance courses. No one wants to waste time like us. During that time, I got to see, like during my internship at Amex, I learned a lot about cards, how credit cards work. Then I thought, okay, I'll learn more. So I started learning about futures. So I started learning about finance field very much during my internship because I had a lot of free time. By the end of my internship, and then the next semester started, I took optimization techniques as I told you, and I found the answer on Kaggler. Then I went through Kaggler. On the home page of Kaggler, there was some competition that said the prize money was $100K. When I scrolled down, it was $200K. And then fuck it, I'm gonna do this. This is really interesting. Like I'll see what people do to make this kind of money through one competition. And it's like a 4-month competition. 100K if you get the top prize of like let's say 50K, it's like more than the annual salary of a software engineer in India. So I was like, fuck it, I'll try it properly. So I started going through how Kaggler works. So it's very important to know how Kaggler works because it's better to start learning slow, growing gradually, and learning completely rather than just jumping on the ship and then not knowing how to swim when the ship drowns. So I started learning slowly. I started in March. I started in September 2020, and I'll say till January 2021, I didn't win anything. So they are like weekly competitions. They are prize money competitions. I didn't get a good rank in any of them. Like I would try things out. I would try new things. I would try old things. I would try combination of machine learning and mathematics, and nothing would work for me. The code was optimized, everything was working fine. But then I saw how people like went deeper into the problem statement. They modified the problem statement itself. Then they like did analysis. I never did analysis till January 2022. I just used to think, okay, this is the data. This is what they expect. What are models can I apply? I never did feature engineering till January 2021. So there are few things in machine learning like which we just read about and we just don't try. So there is like things like we think, okay, I'll do one hot in coding here, I should get better things. The thing is, I saw people making a mathematical statement. Okay, there was a competition to predict numbers using some other numbers, and there was a guy who made those numbers into images and then trained a model for to learn from images about numbers. So like we went about in a more complex way, but it was like really interesting to see. Then there was this guy, there was some NLP problem to detect big words for students to learn or something. And then he solved it using image processing. So instead of doing NLP, he made it a image processing problem by highlighting text which was big enough for students to not understand and then trained a whole model on it. So 2021 Jan was when I discovered that okay, there are a lot of ways to do things. And then someone mentioned in a thread of a Kaggler competition that okay, it's better to look at research paper related to things. So when you start going through things slowly and one by one, when you keep on failing, you'll discover new things, and that's when you'll learn a lot more. So it's always good to just try and learn things. So January 2021, I started learning more and more things. By mid-Feb of 2021, I was really good at, like I was getting good at things. I was getting closer to top 500 ranks. I was getting like my ranking in practice zone was really good. So I was like, okay, chill, now I'm getting things. And during that part, I used to go through one research paper a week, I say, like maybe 1.5 research papers in 2 weeks or something like that. Because I was going through so many competitions, and during that time, since everything was still online for me, I had a lot of spare time. So I started doing lead code problems only in Python. I stopped C++. I did things strictly in Python. Till this time around, I had no idea there was something as a quant or someone who used to work as a quant. So Optiver had this competition. I had taken part in it, and then I had written code, and someone approached me. Okay, that my rank was like 150, 180 at that time on the leaderboard, and someone approached me. Okay, but I think you're working on similar. We have a similar approach. Let's go collab, and then we can discuss our approaches, and then we can see. I was like, okay, I'll try. So when I connected with him, he was a guy who was working from Hong Kong. He was a Chinese guy. He was working from Hong Kong, and he worked as a quant for IMC training. So I was like, okay, what's a quant? Like, how is that different from a software engineer? He told me that he was getting paid by the company to take part in the competition, just to try and find out what people are doing in the market. I thought it's interesting. And he told me how much he made. I was like, okay, I will do that. Initially, see, for most of us, we want to be in the best place to make most money at the fastest pace ever. I think you all have been through internship time. You all know that you want to get in the first company which comes on the first day of placement, because they give you the most money. Because software development is a very constant phase across all companies. You believe that what you will do in company A, you will do in company B, but company A pays more, so you will do this. Same thought I had initially. I'm like, okay, I'll just try this field. Then over the period of the project or the competition, we started talking more, and it then told me to learn a few things which might help me to get into like quant roles. By that time, I didn't know that India had quant companies which like took candidates only from top 5 IITs or top 3 IITs or top 7 IITs. So he told me I need to learn about financial commodities like options and futures and how things work. I like, okay, I'll do that. So March 2021 was when I learned about quant roles, and from there on, everything changed. So till that time, I had full-time offers from American Express. I didn't sit for college placements. So I was like, okay, I have this, I will try off campus if I want to. So from March 2021 onwards, I started learning more and more about this future and options field which he told me. So his name was Zhao. So Zhao told me that it's better to learn everything now and just build a profile around it, and then it's easier to get into the field. I guess till Ayman has raised her hand. Okay. Yeah. How can I see your questions? Not sure.
If there's any question, you guys can type it in the chat box, and we'll address it at the end. We'll have a Q&A session at the end. Go ahead.
Yeah. So I started learning more about the quant field itself. It intrigued me, and then I was like, okay, fine, I'll start reaching out to people. I googled what are the best quant companies in the world. I got GS in the answer. GS means Goldman Sachs, for someone who doesn't know. Then I got a bunch of names, and I was familiar with none of them. I only knew IMC trading because I knew one guy from IMC trading. And then I started searching more. I found lead code answers where people mentioned their packages in all companies in India, and it was astonishing to me. I'm like, okay, holy fuck, I've been making this kind of money in the first year. Then I reached out to people on LinkedIn. Like Indian companies, I started reaching out, I'll say August 2021. But I got no replies. I applied on all their portals. I got nothing. For one whole month, I kept on applying for in Alpha Grep. I applied in Alpha Grep. I applied in Tower. I applied in Quantbox. I applied in iRage. There are a bunch of other companies I applied in. Jump Trading. I got responses from none of them. I basically did that whole thing of taking my resume, copy pasting it, then changing. I had a base CV. I used to change it according to the role slight difference in the roles which they mentioned. And I did this for Indian companies. I like thought that I'm not getting it. I'll try internationally, because when you apply for Indian companies, they ask you what's your college, and when you click on the drop down, there is no NIT. It's basically top 7 IITs. You're like, okay, there's a whole world I'm not allowed entry to. So then I started applying internationally, and I applied for IMC trading internationally, Optiva, Citadel, uh, and a few other companies. So I'll tell you guys right now, it's better to apply for international companies first, because they are way more open than any Indian company. They are open to look at uh, your performance in this field, what you have achieved in this field. Like if you mention your data science role in any competition, they'll look at it. Indian companies, Indian HRs just look at, okay, you're not from top 7 IIT, and probably reject you on the basis of that. It's fine. But if you want to actually try and get an interview, it's much better to just try on international companies. So if you want, I'll list international companies to try for at the end of this call. So I started applying in Optima, Citadel. I also played for the Trading International, IMC Trading. I got my first response was through a cold mail which I sent to an HR of October, whom I found on LinkedIn. So I found someone on LinkedIn. I reached out to her. She shared a mail. I sent a mail. And she said, okay, you can apply on the portal. I'll make sure you get the interview test link. Because the biggest hurdle we need to clear is the interview test link. We don't get the test links at all. So I luckily got the test link. And then I luckily got the test link, and then I gave the test links. So I'll tell you guys what's in the test. So quant interviews are very different in the sense that they want you to be thorough with both. So the first rounds are like coding rounds. They'll ask you coding questions. They might not ask you coding questions, which is the case with Optiva. So now you apply for Optiva, all they ask is very basic general questions. They'll ask you to do factorial multiplications, but they'll have to solve 80 in 8 minutes. So that's like every 6 seconds you should be able to just see the question solving, then they'll ask you to like do basic brain quizzes, analytics question, number rounding of issues. So they'll ask a bunch of things which you'll think is okay, this is like really crap. How can this like help you get good candidates? Then you see the score which people have. So when I first applied for Optiva, I was applying for IMC trading in parallel, and they both had this round where I had to answer like 70 questions in 6 minutes or 80 questions in 6 minutes, something like this. And I'm like, okay, I'll try. Before I gave the test first for IMC trading. I'll say luckily I had the same thing in Optiva. So IMC trading, it was like 70 questions in 6 minutes. I was able to solve like 45, and immediately like I didn't get to the next question page. So there are like sections A. Section A is like brain quizzes. Section B is like math questions. Section C is some analytical stuff. I was on section B. I gave like 45 answers in like 6 minutes, and they were like, sorry, we can't like take you forward. Thanks for trying. I was like, whoa, how many questions are people solving? And then I saw, I reached out to a guy before my Optiva interview test. I asked him, dude, how many questions did you solve? He told he solved 80 questions in 5 minutes. I'm like, holy fuck. So then I'm like really serious about this stuff. So then I prepared myself for my Optiva thing. I solved like 76 questions in like 6-7 minutes. And then I got to the next round. And throughout all those rounds, I was only asked probability questions, statistics questions, some logical questions, and everything was about how I approach to solve the problem. There was one maths problem statement to solve multiple analysis. So it's fine, but basically the whole thing throughout was maths. They just asked me, do you know Python? So like, yeah, I know Python. They're like, okay, cool. I think they believe candidates don't work, but it's fine. So with international companies, basically the whole way is mathematics. With Indian companies, it's software first, so they'll ask you coding questions, like lead code, medium to lead code hard, and then they'll ask you analytical questions, and then they'll have your Amazon, I had coding questions and everything for Amazon in April. And then I had an offer from, there was some quant company which was not very well known. It's from Mumbai and it's like a new hedge fund. They started a new hedge fund back in 2016 and it's the quant part of their hedge fund was recruiting back in 2022 and I had applied and I had got the offer. And it was very new. They had like very less capital and the package there was like basically double of what I would be making at American Express. And then okay, chill. So I have something in hand now. I can negotiate. I can use it as a negotiation tool. Then in May, as of they reached out to me, they were like, okay, dude, you did really well during your whole interview thing. We have an internship opening. So there's a lot of work involved, I guess. So they told me one of their interns dropped out. So they have a role. If I want to join, I can join. And like chill. And I had HR interview for Amazon that day only. So on 13th May, I got the call from AlphaGraph. They told me I can join from 18th May onwards. I had an HR call with Amazon. I dropped the call. I was like, okay, I mailed him, but sorry, I can't. I won't be joining this mail because I won't be joining this mail because I'm not interested in the role anymore. Thanks for giving me the opportunity. Blah blah blah. And then on 13th May, I dropped everything else. I started preparing for the quant job. So that's how things went for me. I hope like through all these things, whatever I told you, the idea you should get is it's always better to keep on trying, keep on reaching out to more and more people because that's the only way you're gonna get interview test link for this role or you can get anything. Like it's way harder to get a career through career portals. It's always better to reach out to people on LinkedIn. So I will tell you there are some courses in college which I think we don't. One thing is you don't need to waste your colleges as well. So basically, whatever as a college guy, you always have the option to take courses in like 30 years onward. So I'll say courses which might help you in like coming up, like getting into the stream. So it's optimization techniques, advanced statistics, data analysis with Python, bash scripting, and always learn C++ coding. Like solve the hardest problem on lead code, solve whatever you can, just to be really good at C++ because someday like C++ might like bite you back in the ass if you don't know it. So these are the courses which you should take. I'll suggest you to take in college because if you're investing time in learning a course or doing assignments for the course, why not it be something which might be helpful rather than just something which you're doing to get credits or to complete your degree. So optimization techniques, advanced statistics, data analysis, bash scripting. I think we have bash scripting. I had bash scripting. I didn't take bash scripting, but it's a good course. The other thing is, this is the thing which I told you. Yeah, one more thing. Yeah, I have told you everything here. So, yeah, do you guys have any questions? I think we'll start with the questions now.
You can put your questions in the chat or you can unmute and ask as well.
Yeah, so hi Ankit, Shubham here.
Hey, sure.
Yeah, so the question I had was like these quant companies, right? They hire like for multiple roles, analysts, developers. So what kind of requirements are there for their developers? Should it be like low-level design, low-level program?
Yeah, so I'll say there is a bifurcation. So there is a quant analyst role and quant developer, and then there is a software developer role in these companies. So the quant side is basically it's quant researcher is basically you do Python stuff, you do scripting, and you do a lot of math stuff. That is quant researcher. You don't do basically C++ or anything. Quant development is basically you do guys for you do coding stuff for guys who can't code up very well. So it's basically some other guy who has an idea and you just code up things. You make tools to help you. You make a website which helps them see the result, track their statistics, performance, like a basic analysis work which you will run the forms. And then there is software development role. So software development role and quant development align a little C++, but a lot more Python. In software development, it's mostly a lot of C++, networking, uh, TCP port work. Like basically, we're doing a lot of networking work, a lot of development for actual development. So you'll be making C++ programs which sends data faster, receives data faster, like breaks down data faster. So the requirement for software development is C++, I'll say. C++, DBMS, networking, sometimes web development. But for quant roles, it's more on the math side, Python, data analysis, on those lines. So I think that's a bifurcation which you need to know.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, so the scope, like in India, it's really great. So I'll say now with, like, if you see the numbers, Indian market has been growing like at a very fast rate, and like now companies are interested in India because India is like doing financially very well. We are like easily separating ourselves out from the US finance market or the Euro finance market. So it's a great thing right now, and I think companies will be hiring because I know I work in a company myself. I know the hiring has been like a lot more quicker because companies are aiming to grow a lot more quicker. Because I would say lately Indian companies are performing way better than international big hedge funds. The only thing is we are Indian companies, we are not going international, but a lot of companies and teams inside these companies are going international now, and they're making big banks. Now they want to work across a lot of other fields, like a lot of other markets like Brazil, US, Australia, China, and they want to grow as fast as they can. And I think they'll be hiring a lot more people from Indian companies in next, let's say, 2 years. So I guess the field is growing very fast, and yeah, it should really help. Like it can be a great field. I'll say if if we were in IIT, I guess most of us would be already knowing like a guy who's 27 and is making like 7 or 8 figures annually just because he works in this field. So it's like that. So this field will grow exponentially. There's no issue. There's no doubt in my mind that it will ever stagnate in India right now. Not for the next 5 years at least. Globally, I'll say it's fine because we have those finance grow on Instagram reels will tell you some random bullshit, but it's the actual guys of Wall Street who make a lot of money knows that it's actually a lot more about quant these days than any finance book can ever teach you through an Instagram reel or YouTube page. So yeah.
Hi Ankit, I'm Mohan. Uh, so in a quant role, will it be sort of more of data analysis, or should you like come up with algorithms on how to like do things?
So the first few months, it is basically we'll be going through a lot of research paper and your like co-workers' cold work, because that helps you more to understand what this field is. Then you'll get to know it's combination of math. And by math, I mean research papers in mathematics which have been on finance field or analysis field. Uh, or okay, so the first month I worked on solving optimization techniques problem, which is like a college course, but the problem state was way more complex. So I solved a optimization techniques problem in Python and C++, and that is what I did. And I think that is how I started working as a quant. The role itself is great, so you need to know one more thing. Quant role require you to know a lot more finance than uh, just purely math, because if you want to make money off something, you should know that too. So they'll ask you to learn more about finance things. You will learn about bonds, how trade works, what is a market maker. Like you learn a lot more about market and how a market functions, because there are abnormalities in the market and you don't make money out of the market. So you need to find ways where the market is lagging. let's say you find something where a market is lagging by 1 second. If you build an algorithm which computes thing in like 0.01 second, then you can make like 100 trades a minute, 100 trades a second, and make money out of it. But it's all about knowing both finance and analysis. It's not that you'll be given some data and you'll be asked to look into the data, try to find the pattern. There is nothing like that. It's a lot more about knowing about the finance field, how things work in the finance field. When you're seeing something, because see, you look into data, but you'll have an objective. So basically, you won't be given a data set and be asked to look into it. You'll have access to data. You will look into the pattern, and then you'll look into the data. You'll go back to data. You look into it. Okay, is this pattern usual? That I make money out of it. So it's all about how good you are at coding, how good at you are at looking things. Because a lot of the times, what you do is, so while like I live in Bangalore, so there is a 1 hour commute time for me. So during that time, I just look at things because you never know when you can find something which is like a really big thing for you in the future. So I keep on looking at data when I travel, because by looking at data, like the market data in the real time, you can think of something, okay, this happened right now. What should I have done in this case? Or on which days does this work? So this is how things work in quant role basically.
Okay.
Basically, every day is a problem statement. So that's the baseline. Yeah.
Right. Okay. One more question. You mentioned you have to be good at math stuff, as in probabilities and all these things.
Yeah.
So can you share a bunch of resources that you use, or how you improved from, like?
Yeah.
I mean,
Triple E level. Yeah. Okay, I say so. Like stack also, there is math also. Like you can just look into it, but I will share Slack channels with you. So
sure.
yeah, wait 1 second. I think I should have something pinned there. I'll stop sharing the screen for a second and just check what I have on the dashboard. So okay, I'll share a website with you guys that might help you. I'll just put it in the chat. So this is the website of a group of guys. So this has blogs, this has research papers. So you'll get to learn more about. So I'll suggest go to the basics first. You need to learn about. So okay, I'll share a few things that might help. So you need to know more about the markets first. But I'll suggest during a college time it's not required that much. You need to be good at coding and analysis. That should be enough. But if you have free time, I'll suggest you go through Simula's varsity website first. It will help you understand a few things. And then you can just go through this ML quant page. It's like the hub of knowledge for quants. It's basically you'll get research papers, you get blogs, you get video lessons. So you'll have everything, and that should help you a lot more than, let's say, me telling you something which will take like Brazilian years to like translate from my mind to your mind. So it's a lot better if you just go through the subject when you have free time. I won't suggest you to like drop everything else, drop coding and then go into this, but if you have free time, you can go through these websites if you're serious about this year. So yeah.
Okay. Great. Thank you so much. I have one more question. So, software jobs, I mean, the interviewers, they don't really care about like if you're very good at C, they just want the cheat code sort of problem solved. But is it viewed different in like what does a CT rating carry a lot of weight to it?
Sometimes like most of the time, see, they have to shortlist, right?
Right.
Yeah. So they may have to shortlist on basis of something. So the initial round is basically okay, you should have good enough threshold, like you should have enough rating to like clear the cutoff for the threshold. But post that, it's basically how street smart you are, how much math you will and how quickly you think about the solutions. It's not important to always jump on the correct solution. It's impossible to jump on the correct solution the first go. But the thing they look for is how many solutions you can come up with parallelly, because it's about the churning rate in this field. Because you can just solve one problem, get money, and then probably if you don't do anything else for the whole year, they'll drop you. Because they want guys who can keep on churning ideas, keep on looking into things. doing this on a regular basis. So the thing, more important thing is how many that you need to clear the cutoff, but post that it's not very as a software development interview types. It's a lot more about how much work you can do.
Okay. Yeah, that was very helpful. Thank you so much, Ankit.
Yeah. Anything else?
Any other question, guys? You can put in the chat also. Okay. It seems like there are no questions.
Okay, cool. So thanks guys for having me, giving me the opportunity to take this session with you guys. I hope all of your college life goes on smoothly. Nothing like COVID ever hits you back, and enjoy college. So yeah, peace.
Thank you so much, Ankit. Thank you everybody for joining.
Thank you, Ankit, for coming and taking the session. Thank you all for joining.